Welcome to Final Whistle, your ultimate source for all things Final Whistle football news. Like and subscribe for more football updates. My first news is MU's transfer plans have fallen apart. Manchester United summer transfer plans are in danger of collapsing following Manuel Ugarte's serious injury at the 2026 World Cup. Manchester United's leadership had hoped to earn a significant sum from selling Ugarte to teams in Serie A, thereby increasing the club's budget for recruiting new midfielders. However, the 0-1 defeat against Spain, coupled with the serious injury to the 25-year-old midfielder, has completely disrupted the Red Devils' transfer plans. Ugarte's injury is causing concern for manager Carrick. In a crucial match against La Roja, Ugarte collided with his Uruguayan national team teammate Matthias Oliveira, resulting in a serious knee injury. Ugarte screamed in pain and was stretchered off the pitch in tears. The South American team was eliminated in the group stage, bringing to a forgettable end to their World Cup campaign. From Old Trafford, Manchester United's leadership anxiously awaited the results of detailed scans of Ugarte's recent knee injury. If the Uruguayan midfielder suffers a torn anterior cruciate ligament, ACL, his chances of being transferred this summer are almost nil. Previously, MU were keen to offload Ugarte to free up wage bill and generate funds to strengthen their midfield. The club had already completed the Ederson deal from Atlanta and was pursuing Mateus Fernandes, West Ham. However, if Ugarte is sidelined for an extended period, the Red Devils will have to retain a high-earning player while being unable to secure the desired transfer fee. My second news is Julián Álvarez has realistic Premier League alternative to cashless Barcelona that would suit everyone. Julian Alvarez isn't going to get his dream move to Barcelona, but Arsenal could be the perfect club for him to join instead. That's the view of TalkSport's European football expert Andy Brazel, who thinks Alvarez would be ideal for the Gunners. Julian Alvarez isn't going to get his dream move to Barcelona, but Arsenal could be the perfect club for him to join instead. That's the view of TalkSport's European football expert Andy Brazel, who thinks Alvarez would be ideal for the Gunners. The Atletico Madrid forward looks certain to leave the Spanish side this summer, despite the club saying he's not for sale. Alvarez dropped a transfer bombshell earlier this week, straight after featuring in Argentina's 2-0 World Cup win over Austria. He stated that he wanted to fulfill his dream and get the move away from Atletico to join La Liga rivals Barcelona. But Brazel can't see it happening and thinks a return to the Premier League for the ex-Manchester City striker may be on the cards. This could be one of the transfer sagas of the Premier League summer, Brazel predicted on Alvarez's future to Talksport.com. Alvarez himself lit the blue touch paper. He wanted to admit that he wanted to move on from Atletico Madrid. I think we all know the move that he wanted. It was Barcelona. They have been keen for a while. This has been a bit of back and forth between Atletico and Barca, a lot of social media sniping between the two. Of course, Atletico feel that Barca have overstepped the mark, mainly because Barca don't have the money to complete this deal. Atletico paid over £77 million for Alvarez when they bought him 2 years ago. He has a £431 million buyout clause, so there's no way that Barca can force them to sell at a rock-bottom price. He continued. So there's a bit of a problem for Barca in that sense, a problem accentuated by Real Madrid. Florentino Perez mischievously made a £129 million bid on Real's behalf when Alvarez had no intention of going there, and the club had no intention of signing him either. But what he did pushed the price up and put Barca in a spot that they couldn't get it down to what they want to pay, which is £86 million. Where could Alvarez end up instead? So, with Barcelona being priced out and therefore missing out on their man, who could swoop in to get the want-away Argentinian, Brazel believes a move to Arsenal, who are interested in Alvarez, could be on the cards, with Manchester United also an option. It's never felt that Alvarez or at least his entourage have been fully into the idea of staying at Athletic long-term, he admitted. Now, Arsenal reportedly have held a long-term interest, longer than Barcelona, so to see them back in the picture makes total sense. Arsenal went out and bought their number 9, and I think Victor Gyökeres is sometimes looked at in the wrong way, as the guy to take them to the next level. He kind of did in a way, by offering them something different, not by being the best striker in the world or anything like that. Now that is more Alvarez's territory, he's someone who can really lead a team. He has heart and soul, he gives everything in every game. He does so much running, can create on his own, score from within the penalty box, from range, can set up others. That is really why he's a player so many managers will want, and it seems Manchester United are interested as well. A terrific spot for him. Brazil then went on to weigh up the realistic possibility of a deal for Alvarez to come back to the Premier League happening that he explained. The difference between Arsenal and Man United, and Barcelona, is they, the English clubs, have the money, they have the money to satisfy what Atletico are going to want. Atletico are not wanting a world record fee or anything like that, the buyout clause is just a negotiating position. I think they'll take something around the £129 million price. That will be a palatable price for Man United or, more likely, Arsenal to pay for someone who can make a massive difference. On what Alvarez could bring to Mikel Arteta's side, Brazil added, he's world-class, there's no doubt about it, only 8 league goals last season, but in the Champions League he was brilliant, load management would help him be consistently world-class. Arsenal would be a great spot for him, not just because they're current Premier League champions and Champions League finalists. But he is someone who will be going into a really stacked squad and get a chance to shine at the right moments, not to play every game. It would be a terrific spot for him. It would be a plus for Arsenal as well. I don't think they have a player like him, there aren't many players in football quite like him either. My third news is Arsenal offer chance to sign £85 million star ahead of Man United and Tottenham. Arsenal have been another chance to sign Manchester United and Tottenham target Sandro Tonali as they chase his Newcastle United teammate Bruno Guimaraes. Mikel Arteta is determined to sign a new top-class midfielder this summer despite guiding Arsenal to a long-awaited Premier League title last season. The Gunners were heavily linked with a move for Tonali in the back end of the January transfer window, with the Italian believed to be offered to Arsenal by his representatives. A deal was never likely to materialise, but Arsenal have continued to show interest in Tonali since, although Newcastle's price tag and the player's wage demands are seen as a problem. It is in fact Tottenham and Manchester United who have moved ahead of Arsenal in the transfer race as Roberto De Zerbi and Michael Carrick look to bolster their respective squads. Spurs had a £75 million bid for Tonali rejected by Newcastle and are now weighing up making an improved offer to bring him to North London. Manchester United could yet launch a rival move, though, as Carrick looks for midfield reinforcements following Casemiro's departure. The Red Devils have already signed Brazil international Ederson from Atlanta but want at least one more midfielder to arrive at Old Trafford, while Tonali has attracted interest from United and Spurs. A move to Arsenal was not ruled out given the 26-year-old is believed to be keen to join the new Premier League champions, according to Chronicle Live. Arsenal were once again offered the chance to sign Tonali last week by his agents at GR Sports. But it is claimed Arsenal did not entertain Tonali's steep wage demands. He reportedly wants around £275,000 a week, or the lofty agent fees associated with the deal. As a result, Arsenal are expected to focus their attentions on a deal for fellow Newcastle star Guimaraes. Newcastle have denied any contact from Arsenal over the Brazilian, but talks are expected to commence, with Arteta keen to bring him to the Emirates Stadium. Guimaraes, who has been at St James' Park since 2022, could be open to a summer move after Newcastle failed to qualify for any European competition. Eddie Howe's side featured in the Champions League last season but finished that campaign just 12th in the Premier League, while Arsenal appear reluctant to join the race for Tonali. Jermaine Jenas believes he would be an upgrade on Arteta's current options in midfield. In my opinion, Sandro Tonali is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. Jenas told 10Bet, he had his misdemeanor, betting ban, came back, and I thought his attitude from that exact point onward has been brilliant. He's a dictator of a game, he sets the pace and sets the tone every time he plays. He did the same when he was at AC Milan. When I look at that Arsenal midfield, I was never fully convinced by Martin Zubimendi, if I'm honest with you. I think he's a decent, solid player, but Tonali would definitely be a level up in that midfield alongside Declan Rice. Thanks for watching. That's all for today's transfer update. But the transfer window never sleeps, and neither do we. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the latest Liverpool FC transfer news, rumours, and confirmed deals. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update, because at LFC Transfer HQ, you'll never walk alone.